Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you all. Welcome to another session of Prayer for Marriages. I am your host, Marcia Baker, an evangelist in the kingdom. Alongside me is Evangelist Nikki McKenzie, and we are on again tonight talking about our spiritual and mental stability of our spouse. And oh my God, if you missed last week's session, don't worry, you can always go back and watch the replay on YouTube and on Facebook. So I just want to welcome you all to another session of Prayer for Marriages, where our goal is to build in a healthy, strong community of marriages with one couple at a time, right? So our goal is to win a couple each week, to save a marriage, one marriage each week. So by the end of the year, if we save one per week, that's 52 families we have kept together and we have accomplished our goal. All right. And so tonight we're going to continue. Welcome again. If this is your first time here, welcome. If it's not, welcome. All right. So we welcome new people and we're welcoming back our family, our regulars that's been coming on and just like sharing with us and just being here and for your support. We really appreciate your support each and every time. We really appreciate you. And we just want to say thank you for your support. Evangelist Nikki has been doing an awesome job with the spiritual mental stability of our spouse, and we want to continue that. Let me tell you something. Our mental and spiritual health is so important in this season where it seems like we're in a bit of chaos, right? And everybody need to be stable in our minds and in our spirit, all right? So I'm not going to take any more time. Our own evangelist is here with us on this week again, and she's going to come right in. So I want to introduce to some and present to others Evangelist Nikki. She's going to be teaching us on tonight. And so we just listen. If y'all send up some hearts, send up some thumbs up, send up some likes for our girl Evangelist Nikki, because guess what? She's been doing an awesome job teaching us on how to remain stable in this time. All right. So without any further ado, we're going to present her to you, Evangelist Nikki. God bless you. God keep you. Over to you, woman of God.
Glory to God. Good to be back. Good to be back, Evangelist Baker. Yes, like we're just here. And that's the beauty. Each day there is something amazing in every day. And we get a new 24 and we get to determine each day how we spend that 24. So we cannot worry about yesterday or tomorrow. We got today to make a new start. So I'm grateful for this opportunity to be in your hearing. If you're catching this live, the replay, the rebroadcast, please like, share, tell a friend, phone a friend, encourage someone with something that you hear. It might not be for you, but it might be for somebody that you know, right? So each one teach one. And we're not here know it all, have it all. We need your feedback, we need your input, and how we can be better stored with the knowledge and information that we have to build and foster one marriage at a time. And like Evangelist said, if we can help retrain your mindset to see a different way, to look at your spouse differently from the lens of you, because a lot of time we see the lens of who we assume they are, but when we can change our mindset and become that spouse that we want, we will have better relationship and less divorce rate and less friction in marriage. But a lot of time we come in the relationship expecting the person to be everything that we want, and we're nothing close to what we're asking for. So basically, this platform we definitely gears toward fostering us. Take self accountability, take responsibility for us, so we can be that spouse that we want to be in our relationship and watch things change, right? And as Evangelist alluded to, yes, we are speaking on spiritual and mental stability. And to start off the year, listen, this is a hard topic because a lot of us, it might be triggered for you because you're living it, you're seeing it, you're experiencing it. I want you to know that you're not alone. This is a community that you can entrust your emotion, your feelings, your thoughts with, just to hear it out. Because sometimes we just need that second hear, right? Just to say, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm seeing in my spouse, right? We're here to support each other because we wanted to foster healthy relationships so you don't feel like you're in this by yourself. You know, Marcia Baker Ministry, we have a plethora of different ministry and we all cater to being well-rounded human being. We are here together, working together to help us together, right? And I know this topic, like I said, we've been speaking on it for a while now. You can, as Evangelist said, go back and catch the replay and stuff like that. And today we're going to conclude on it because we have developed so many information on it. And we don't want to overload you, right? If you need one-on-one, shameless plug, our lady here, our visionary Evangelist Baker, she does counseling for a nominal fee. Reach out to her. And if it's something she can't help with, trust me, we will direct you to the right person. We will make sure that you get to the right person that will help guide you through these territories, these challenges that you're facing. So don't ever feel like you're alone. All it takes is a made up mind that you need help and know that help is available, and you make that bold step to reach out, right? So again, my name is Evangelist Nikki McKenzie. I am a simple girl trying to be better than I was the day before. That's it. My aspiration is to help foster relationship. As I help you, it helps me be better steward with the information, the knowledge, and everything that God blessed me with. I want it to be a blessing to others. So I am not here know it all. Okay. We are learning through this together. And I know a lot of us, if not all of us, if not experienced it in our own family, some in their own relationship, somebody that you work with, somebody that you're affiliated with, you heard have some spiritual or mental instability. So we want to talk tonight about being stable-minded, right? Spiritually and mentally. And as we had mentioned, spiritual stability refers to the state of being grounded and steadfast in one's faith and beliefs, maintaining a strong and consistent relationship with God, just to recap, and remaining resilient in the face of life challenges. It involves a balance and wavering trust in God's promises, a deep understanding of His word, and the ability to navigate life's ups and downs with a sense of peace and assurance. That is spiritual stability. Now, the definition of mental stability, just to reiterate from last week, refers to a state of emotional and psychological well-being. This is a physical man, because a lot of time we so spiritualize everything that we suffered. The mental and the physical man suffers, right? And forget we live in a earthly realm, in a earthly body, that we need to cater to this mental body, right? To the mental aspect of us. So the mental stability refers to the state of emotional and psychological well-being, whereas individual can effectively manage stress. Keyword, manage stress. Stress is not something you pray away, you wish away, you shama away. You gotta get the proper tools and guidance to manage it, because why we said manage, it is a part of life. There's no one in this world that's going to be stress-free. Even when we said, if I get this $1 million, I will be stress-free, right? If I get this husband, I'm going to be stress-free. And now you have a husband, you're like, hold up, I'm not stress-free. Or if I get this big house, if I get this promotion, whatever it is, I'm going to be stress-free. It is a part of life. Sorry to burst your bubble, right? It is a part of life, but there's tools out there to help us manage it effectively where it's not ruining our life, right? And so mental stability is to be able to manage stress effectively, maintain healthy relationship, make rational decision. You're not coming from a place of scarcity, poverty, right? Fear, emotional irregulation is necessary, because a lot of time we make decisions out of emotion and we're not emotionally regulated, right? So we want to make a rational decision by weighing all the options, the pros, the cons, seek out all the knowledge that we can have at our fingertip, right? Seek wisdom, seek godly wisdom as well, right? It is necessary when we're making those decisions that impact not just us, but our spouse and our family, right? So you need to be mentally stable and to cope with life challenges. Lives come with its own different, my challenges might be different than yours and vice versa, but guess what? It's still spelled the same way, challenges, right? But there is tool to help us. It involves a balanced mindset, and that's why daily we have to ask for our mind to be renewed in Christ daily, right? Emotional resilience, like I said, we need to be emotionally regulated, so we're not operating from a place of emotion, because emotion will let you live in regrets, and we don't want to be like that, right? Because that's not God's way. And the ability to function productively in daily activities. So when we have those in harmony, right, we're better stored. right? We're more inviting, we're more polite, right? We're more open for dialogue, we're less confrontational, right? We're not walking around with strife and pointing finger. So those are the definition to mental stability and spiritual stability. And they both work together in harmony. Like I said, a lot of time we OD'd on the spiritual and we forget that, yes, we need to maintain the physical, which is part of our mental well-being. A lot of time that is so drained, right? We drawn into everything spiritual and forget that our spouse is human being, right? They're flesh and blood, right? And a lot of time we forget that. We spiritualize everything that we don't capitalize on their mental well-being. See how they're coping. And what comes to mind, like I always divert back to, is Matthew 11, verse 28 through 30. Come to me, all you are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your soul. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light, right? That is what the scripture reminds us of. So there is help, right? But a lot of time our mental awareness is so clouded because we don't have the proper tool, we don't seek out the proper knowledge, the proper know-how, and also the right people who can guide us. So we have to be aware of each other mental health. Our mental health is parallel in our relationship, right? We need to support each other. And like I said earlier, it's okay to seek professional help if needed, because that will help us cope with the tools and the mechanism that we need to navigate these challenges. You're not alone. Because a lot of church I know don't believe in counseling outside of Christendom in the secular world, right? They'll tell you go fast it away, go pray it away, right? And you have to talk to your spouse, right? Yes, we talk to God daily and ask God to give us knowledge, but we need to be able to get those proper tools to communicate effectively. When we see things not going the way it's supposed to go and we started conflict because we're trying to understand what our spouse is going through and we don't have the proper tool how to cope when they do tell us this is what they're encountering, this is how they're feeling, right? So we need somebody who is trained to help us deal with conflict resolution when we're not understanding that it becoming a war zone. Your spouse is lashing out and said, I don't know what's going on. He's a new person. He's just arguing for no reason. No one just get up and argue for no reason, right? Sometimes that's a symptom of what's going on mentally in their mind, but they don't have the proper know-how and how to communicate effectively, right? So healthy conflict is necessary, but how you going to know what healthy conflict look like? And to get resolution for a healthy conflict resolution, you need the proper tool. You need someone who can help guide you through it. If you find yourself constantly arguing with your spouse, they said you start self-diagnosing them because of what you heard someone else has been going through with their spouse. Like I said last week, do not Google search and judge your spouse based on somebody else's diagnosis, right? Speak to your spouse. And if it's not making sense to you, which makes sense to them, and you might not understand it, get the proper help. Get the proper tools. Seek counseling to address, because sometimes, third party will be able to navigate us and direct us to see what one person is not understanding, right? So we have to seek to understand each other's perspective and find a common ground. And like I said, a lot of times your spouse might say something, or we might say something to our spouse that don't make no sense to them, but it makes a whole lot of sense to you. And then we'll get upset that they don't understand. And especially when our spouse, when our husband, for example, said they're feeling emotionally drained. A lot of women don't know how to deal with that. A lot of women, a lot of us wives, when a spouse said they're going through an emotional turmoil, a lot of us as women not used to hearing a man said that, right? Because normally we, the woman, we said are emotional. So when our spouse do tell us and we hear, we started like, what do you mean? You're a man, man up. Men don't go through emotion. And we go from what we were taught or what we see growing up, how men supposed to be. And there's no one size fit all, brothers and sisters. There's no one size fit all. Your spouse is not your dad, is not your uncle, is not your pastor. See him for who he is. Because he might be there suffering in silence, because every time he's trying to communicate, we as women trying to compare. Right? This is not how men's supposed to be. What do you mean you're emotionally drained? What do you mean? You know what I mean? We don't know how to, a lot of us were not taught that men have emotion. We were taught, basically, I'm just saying, we were taught they were emotionless. Men don't feel emotion. It's a woman thing, to be real, right? I mean, we're not in that world anymore, but our environment do shape us and society, how we see men. They're tough, they're renegades, they got it all figured out. You know, they can move mountain, they can rip a lion apart, and they're strong. So because you're strong, we forget that they're human too, and we all have weakness. We all have struggles with stress and challenges, right? And when you make that environment, like, what do you mean? And we start building up a wall, we push our spouse away. We're not hearing them to understand what they're saying. We're not seeing them from their perspective, because we're not seeking understanding. We're coming at them with our preconceived notion from previous relationship, or what we see growing up with mom and dad, or how we see things growing up in our community. So we come with that same mindset and we started judging them. You know what we end up doing? We damage them further. We get them to shut down, where they start internalizing that they think they're alone, right? And I said it before, you know, a lot of folks is in a relationship where they're single. They're sleeping in the same bed, but they don't know each other. It's like you're sleeping with the enemy, right? And I found out recently, somebody was telling me that they went to therapy, them and their spouse, they're going through some situation, and they decided to take the bold step, even though they're kicking and screaming. The husband was ready to go to therapy, to be honest, but the wife was not, because she did not believe in therapy, because she said her pastor said, once you pray about it, just leave it to God timing, right? But I'm glad they finally made the decision to go to therapy. And she was shocked. She's like, I don't know this person. She started to cry because her husband was saying so much, but because she was so caught up in what a man's supposed to be, she assumed what a man's supposed to be is how a man's supposed to say things. No, you got to see the person, hear your spouse, especially the men. And I'm not, you know, bashing women, but I'm coming from, I was there at one point where I feel like, okay, you're strong, you're tough. What do you mean you're having an emotional challenge day? It's rare hearing that from a male. So when you get the proper tool, it will help our spouse to be well mentally rounded, so they know they have a shoulder that they can lean on. And a lot of time we have to go back to them and ask for forgiveness for judging them, and not understanding their perspective, and seek to understand where they're coming from. Because a lot of time people are in a relationship, they come in damaged, and the person that they're with further push them away, not only from their faith, but further damage them mentally, where they're like a zombie walking around. They feel like they can't trust no one and anyone to talk to. So we want us to cultivate strengthening spiritual and mental stability in marriage by first prioritizing communication. And we said it over and over. And if you go back to most of our previous recording, I think we did so many series, I think early last year and the year before, on communication, prioritizing communication. Make time to deeply listen and share honest, open conversation to build trust and understanding. When you foster that environment, you are able to understand not just the verbal communication of your spouse, but the nonverbal. Because now you get to study each other and you understand when something is off, right? You're not going to say my sixth sense, right? Women do have that sixth sense, but you get to understand when something is not functioning right, when they're not acting the way they're supposed to act. You don't go to them and say, babe, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? Say, babe, I'm not seeing you acting the way you used to act. Is it something I can help you with? Is it something you need to share with me? I have a listening here. Or let me know when you want to talk. I'm here for you. That's how sometimes, we need. And it's not gender bias. Sometimes the women, they come home from work, they have a rough day. They don't know how to verbalize it. Sometimes the husband come home, he have a rough day. He's like, I don't want to open my mouth because she's going to just go off the handle, right? Make that environment so inviting that you're the first person your spouse want to communicate with. And seek spiritual growth together. Even if your spouse is not in the faith like you know of God, but you have not have a relationship yet with God, God placed you in that relationship to foster Christ-like behavior. And the more you foster Christ-like behavior, not by speaking daily down to your spouse, but by demonstrating with love, humility, the fruit of the Spirit, you will watch the transformation in your spouse. So don't say he's not in the church, he doesn't go to church. No. That's not the mindset you should have when it comes to your spouse spiritual growth, right? So, but you engage in spiritual practices by resonate with both partners, whether through prayer, meditation, or community involvement. Spiritual unity fosters deeper connection and resilience through the challenges and stress. Well, Stanik, you don't know my husband. He don't believe in God. Listen, you done pray. You believe that God already hear and answer your prayer. It takes you now. You, us, we who wanted to see our spouse grow in the faith to demonstrate Christ-like behavior. And trust me, if you are doing that, God will do the rest. If you are faster in love and humility daily, giving your spouse grace daily, trust me, it's only a matter of time. The thing is, we want it on our timing. Practice gratitude. Regular express gratitude for your spouse, their contribution, their qualities, their efforts, right? Focusing on the positive strengths, your emotional bond. A lot of time we so focus on the negative, we forget to give gratitude for the simple things that they do. The fact that they go to work and they make it home. Can we be grateful? That's God's grace right there, right? The fact that they're healthy. And I always tell folks, the simple things that we take for granted, the fact that your spouse can get up and use the bathroom on their own is something to be grateful for, believe it or not, right? The fact that they can get out of bed by themselves is something to be grateful for, right? So these are the simple things that we think are insignificant until it's no longer, until they lose their mind, until they're out of their mind, and we're wondering what happened. Learn to be grateful in the simple things that they do. The fact that they take out the garbage, thank them, right? I know that's something, well, I can do that at my home, but somebody do that for you, thank them for doing that. It helped build their mental capacity to say that I matters here, because a lot of time they internalize so many things on women that I'm not appreciated around here. You cook a meal, they barely eat, right? And like, I slave all day in the kitchen and nobody tell me thanks, right? But when you learn to foster gratitude, it will come back to you. But we first have to give gratitude. We want our spouse to express gratitude to us and grace to us, but we're not willing to give that. So think about those simple things that will build you mentally to come home and say, my mental stability is safe at home because I'm appreciated there. And most importantly, encourage each other to invest in self-care. We need time away from the work, from the home life, from the kids, from work, whatever that situation is. This time we need to reset, right? We should prioritize mental well-being. Go for a walk together, right? I know the weather is changing nicely. Yeah, we have a little bit of spring weather with the 50s, so that's great weather to go for a walk. And if you're not able to do that, go to the library. If the weather doesn't permit you to be out there, go to the library together, read together, just do something together, right? Just find something indoor that you guys can enjoy together without the noise, the distraction. Go to a spa, have a spa day, right? Go do a mani and a pedi together, right? Get a massage together, right? And if you feel like you want to do it individually, but the thing is, we have to foster self-care. Exercise is important, brothers and sisters, especially if you sit all day or whatever your occupation is. It's good to exercise together. And also hobbies. We need hobbies, individual and together, right? It's good to be able to work together, do things together to foster and build that connection. But there's time that we need our own space, our own time. My husband is a soccer guy. Anywhere he can find a soccer field, he is there. I don't go to the soccer field, and that's his thing. I'm his biggest cheerleader away from the soccer field. A lot of times I'm like that, babe, come with me. Let's go to the soccer field. But I know that's his pastime. So when he gonna play soccer, I get to have my quiet time because I love to read. Right? I always tell folks I love to travel, but first I go to a book when I'm traveling. Like before I go to a place, I'll read up as much as I can about that location, that country, and I'm that person. So I'll take time away to read. Yes, I don't only read the Bible. I read a lot of books, not just the Bible. And if you're just reading the Bible alone, you are behind. You are 40, 30, 20, 10 years behind. You got to read, not just the Bible, okay? And it helps us how to communicate with each other, right? You learn something new when you read, you share it with your spouse. When my husband come back from soccer, I get to ask him, he call me excited about the goal he scored and how the field was and all of that. And you're faster in healthy communication. That helps build us because these are things that we like to do. We have to embrace flexibility and growth. Relationships are dynamic. Embrace change and growth. A lot of time our spouse is growing and one person is growing at a rapid rate and the other person is not there yet. It's okay. Give your partner time to get on your level by practicing grace. Because a lot of time relationships fail because one person is accelerating and the other person is not there yet. But remember, at one point you guys were on the same level and it's okay for one to sprint ahead, right? And once you get ahead, help your spouse to get up to your level. Don't just give up on them, right? A lot of time people are mentally drained because they're like, I'm tired of carrying this person. No, you're not supposed to be doing that. Give the person the grace to get on your level. Give them the tools and the know-how to get on your level. Encourage them along the way. Every little step that they take, encourage them. Don't beat them down. Don't make them feel less than because you feel like you're arrived and they're staggering or holding up the line, so to speak. Help them by going back and give them grace. A lot of time we're mentally drained because we're overwhelmed. Like, I need to be here, I need to be there, and I'm not there yet. That's fine. You get today. Start every day. Make that baby step to get there. The fact that is you are working towards becoming one, not away from each other. Relationship is that you don't come in as one, you come together, working together to become one. And it takes us being self-aware by nurturing and fostering rituals that helps build us together, by anchoring and reinforcing our connection on a daily basis. This should not be a week go by that you and your spouse don't sit down and have a one-on-one dialogue, a heart-to-heart conversation, not just a surface level thing, but the deep conversation, right? We need to foster those relationships because a lot of time is in those conversations you will understand your spouse's spiritual and mental stability. But it takes us being intentional. And when we hear something that does not make sense to us, don't dismiss it. Encourage your spouse to speak more about it, to let you understand more about it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, if they said that, they're feeling fog in their brain, they're feeling brain overload and so forth. Help to understand how you can help take some of the burden away. What are some of the tasks you can take on or outsource if that's possible, right? But don't feel like you're in this by yourself and this is only your spouse going through this. We all have challenges and we're here to encourage and support each other, personal and professional aspiration, right? We don't know it all, but we'll help get the tools together that we all can work together because the last thing we want is our spouse losing their mind. And then we're running up and down. Now we go make the time to go to counseling, to therapy, and all these other specialists that you have to go through. We're trying to eliminate those by paying attention now. Verbal communication is important, but also your spouse nonverbal communication is super imperative. That means you have to be in tune. And take time out to celebrate success. Take time out to celebrate each other. Don't say, I don't have the money. Because now you're telling money that, you're telling God he's not blessing you. It doesn't take money to celebrate each other. Make a meal together, right? You could go to the dollar store, buy a card. I think they sell 2 for $1. Buy a card, write something in it, and just, celebrate them, encourage them. It doesn't take a whole lot. Because if you let money be the issue, you will never see the money if you can appreciate the money that you have now and make do with the money that you have now, right? When you get the big money, you're not going to remember because it's not conditioned in your mind to do those things. So start with a little that you have. Buy the 2 for 1, was it 2 for 50 cent dollar cards? Write something nice in it for your spouse. Get a little candle or something, right? And just appreciate them. It helps change your mental psyche. We're here to build each other up. Mental stability is imperative, and it takes us being intentional. Regulate, intentional, committing daily to hear your spouse, not just to respond, but to understand. Because the men do speak, as evangelists like to say, listen, when the men speak, we listen on the platform. You should do the same thing in your home. Okay? Because when the men speak on our platform, we are glue. And we want you to do that when your husband is speaking, when your wife is speaking. Don't dismiss them. You can listen, because a lot of men say, well, women don't know anything, but you respect your boss at work. You can respect your wife at home. You respect your pastor at church. You can respect your husband at home, right? It's all about the mindset. So we wanted to give you these tools to, so you can set shared goals together, seek guidance, and foster joy and playfulness. Your marriage can be a source of immense spiritual and mental stability, not only for you and your partner and your spouse, but also for those around you. Think about the next generation that is looking up to you. The children, your nieces, your nephews, right? So commit today to nurture this sacred bond and be intentional in flourishing in joy and peace and marital bliss. I know people said, no, it's a thing of the past, but that's for those who have given up. You're here tuning in, you have not given up. So this tool will help you foster those marital bliss. And it's not a fairy tale. You create the marital bliss that's important for you. It might not look like mine. It might not look like Evangelist Baker marital bliss, but you get to determine what does that look like for you and your spouse. And it first takes you being intentional to their mental and spiritual stability. You got the tools now. It's time for you to go impart. Start executing. Don't just let this knowledge go to waste. Start implementing now. Compliment your spouse today. Encourage them today. And it starts with us being the change we want to see in our relationship. You got this. I'm rooting for you. Listen, Marcia Baker Ministry, we are cheering you on. We are your biggest cheerleaders. Don't let the little setback that happened 2024 let you give up. You're here, and I promise you the fact that you're here, you have not given up. What you're here to do is to put in the work. And we're giving you all the tools that you need to get started. You need more information. Like I said, we have trained therapists, we have counselors, we have so many people that we can help guide you to. But it starts with you raising your hand and said, I need help. And we got you. Right, Evangelist? We got you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I didn't want you to stop. My God, so much information. I'm just so glad to be a part of this ministry and to help give information to persons who really need it. And I love what you said, Evangelist Nick. If you need help, reach out. Don't just sit there and suffer in silence. So many persons do that. They suffer in silence, and you wait till it's too late to cry out for help. No, cry out for help now when we can assist you. Don't wait till the fire become a volcano. Cry out now for help. Awesome. Listen, I know that sometimes you may not want to accept that you're going through a spiritual or mental instability, and you say, I'm ashamed, and don't allow pride to let you not reach out and get help. The help, listen, if I'm not able to help you, Evangelist Nick is not able to help you, we have a plethora of resources on hand that we can lead you to. Now, those resources are not going to be free. This session right here is free, but when we direct you to different persons for whatever help you need, they may charge a fee. So just be ready for that. All right. So again, thank you so much for joining us for Prayer for Marriages. Listen, those of you on YouTube, Facebook, if you have not yet followed, like, and share on YouTube, if you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000. We're at 406, I think, on YouTube. So I want to get to 500 at least. All right. So just help us out with that. Listen, also, if you have not yet joined our Thursday night community, you are missing out. Yes, you are missing out. Last week we had an awesome couple. My God, the Bogles, they're trauma and relationship coach, and they're talking about the topic that we had last week, and we're gonna have it again this week. It's from trauma to triumph. And oh my God, the session was intense that the enemy even reared his ugly head. Let me tell you something. We recognize the fight that the enemy's giving us because he does not want information getting out there to you. So you want to get in on that Zoom. It's not going to be telecast on YouTube or Facebook. It's only on the Zoom. All right. So get in the room. Listen, you know the link. It's on my page. It's on my Facebook page. I think it's on my TikTok and it's on my Instagram. So just watch for when we drop the flyer or even go back and look at the old flyers. It's the same Zoom information. It has not changed. When it changed, you will know. So we want to see you Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, no matter your geographical location, be in that room on Thursday. All right. So we thank you. And next week, we know it's President's Day, but we will be here again with another topic. I'm just so grateful for this topic because we need that. We need that to kickstart the year of about being mentally and spiritually stable because that will help us now reach our goals that we have set at the beginning of the year. We came through the month of January with praying, so now we're going to be intentional. And I'm writing a little I want to say little. I'm writing a devotional, and that was my word today that I got intentional. So when Evangelist Nikki said it on here, I was like, look at that, God, intentional. So let's be intentional about our relationship becoming spiritually and mentally stable. All right. So join us, myself and Evangelist, next week for another session of prayer for marriages. God bless you. God keep you. We love you. And again, if you need any kind of help, we want you to reach out to us, Marcia Baker Ministries at gmail.com. It's scrolling on your screen. Please listen and pay attention to it. Take a screenshot of it and reach out to us if you need help. All right. God bless you. God keep you is our prayer. Have an awesome rest of your evening. Bye bye.